Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 The Howl. Utah wins 3-2 in overtime. Yes, overtime again. That's 4 overtime games in the past 5 games for the Utah Hockey Club. They beat the Blue Jackets 3-2. In this one, let's get into this game. Lawson Crouse draws back into the lineup. One of those disappointing players. Players have been hard on the past few weeks, few months, or pretty much the whole season. I was really intrigued and excited to see what Crouse would bring to this game. Early on, pretty quiet first 5 minutes of this game. The shots were 1-1. No team could really set up in the O zone. And a minute later, unfortunately, Columbus scores a first goal to make it 1-0. Such an odd goal, unfortunate goal, a goal pretty much against momentum. Blue Jackets had nothing going on. It's a rim around dump by the Utah defenseman in their own zone, which you're supposed to do. Just takes a funny bounce off the boards, the glass, and it goes right in front of Ingram, literally right in front of him, and a Blue Jackets player is there first, and he chops it into the net past Ingram. Utah down 1-0, even though they didn't deserve to be. And after that goal, Utah just kept playing their game. They started to get it going. They were moving their legs. They had great energy in this first period. They were forechecking hard. They were attacking consistently. And after a while, the first period was just becoming all Utah attacking. Columbus, so much defending against the hockey club's pressure. They had nothing going, the Blue Jackets. Utah keeps pressing. There's a nice chance. Schmaltz to Sergachev, wide open, a clean shot, but a nice glove save by Elvis to keep it 1-0. It was a good road period. Like I said, good energy, attacking consistently. The majority of the offensive zone was played by Utah. Columbus rarely going into the Utah end other than that really odd goal. They took the crowd way out of this game early in the first period, which I like to see. Columbus had one shot on goal in the last 14 minutes of this first period. And at that end of the first period, Utah actually goes on the power play. So they start the second period on the power play. In that first period, they outshot the Blue Jackets 11-3. We go into the second period on the power play. They don't score, but they generate enough momentum where they score immediately after it expires. And it's who else? Lawson Crouse back in the lineup after being scratched. He was forechecking hard in that first period, and he gets rewarded. Great stuff by Crouse to get a goal. Just need him to score more often and help the team out in the goal scoring department. Also on this play, Josh Stone. An unbelievable passing play by Josh Stone. So much patience on display here. He has the puck right in front of the goaltender. There's two defensemen converging on him. Any player in the world, even me, if I have the puck right in front of the crease, I'm throwing it at the net. But he stops, he pauses, and he sees Lawson Crouse wide open in the slot, uncontested, and Crouse doesn't make a mistake on that one-timer in the slot to tie it up 1-1. Columbus started to actually push after Utah tied it. I guess it was a wake-up call for them, because after this point, the game was pretty even. Both teams attacking and pushing at the same time. You love to see two teams in the wild card chase, just desperate for points, and it was a great battle. I thought Columbus really came into this game once Utah tied it up, but Utah kept pressing. There was a nice Kerfoot chance. He missed kind of an open net because Nick Schmaltz just dangles through the whole defensive zone, through the defensive players of the Blue Jackets. He loses the handle of the puck, but Kerfoot is right there to shoot it. Just missed the net a little bit, and then the next shift later, Oli Mata scores. We all thought it was Nick Bukestad. Would have loved to see Bukestad get a goal as well, just help out that secondary scoring, but it's Mata's goal. He's on the sideboards, throws a puck in front of the net through the crease. It hits a skate, goes in the net. Utah's up 2-1. Everyone's loving it. I'm loving Utah's game so far in Columbus. And then there's a fight. Kesselring has to defend himself for laying a huge hit on a Blue Jackets player. Utah ends up going on the power play after that fight. And again, they can't score on this power play. And instead, unfortunately, it's a shorthanded goal against to tie it up 2-2. It's Ivan Provorov from the Blue Jackets, a defenseman streaking in down the wing, gets off a nice wrister. It was from distance, about top of the circle. It fools Ingram. It's a goal Ingram definitely should have had. He knew it too. I'm not sure if Sergachev screened him. It deflects off Sergachev's stick, but it's from so far out. You just got to make that save. Just like Vemelka against Philadelphia, one of the goals, maybe the first goal, just a shot, a wrister from the top of the circle, just finds its way through the net. So it's tied 2-2. That was late in the second. Really unfortunate that Utah comes out of two periods tied 2-2. They had a really good game going and they deserve to be leading heading into the third. The O-zone time was 19 and a half minutes for Utah and 10 minutes for Columbus in terms of attack, time on attack in the O-zone. Just this was Utah's game, but unfortunately the third period they get into a lot of trouble. But before they get into the trouble, there was a great chance Liam O'Brien and Stenlund on a 2-on-1. O'Brien with an unbelievable pass over the defenseman who's lying on the ground, and Stenlund gets some good chunk of meat on this shot, but a great save by Elvis. Again, O'Brien, the past two games, he's been having such a good impact offensively, just coming out of nowhere. Last game, he had 5 shots on goal. I said in that video, he had the highest individual expected goals in that game for a player. This game, he was all over it too. He's finding himself with the puck a lot. He's making some good plays. I just can't believe he's actually doing good things offensively. So going to keep an eye on O'Brien. I'm sure he'll stay in the lineup this weekend as well. But yeah, a 2-on-1 chance saved. Utah gets into penalty trouble. They kill off the first penalty. And then after that penalty kill, John Marino with a pretty brutal turnover, a drop pass blind in the offensive zone. Columbus goes the other way. They have like 2 great chances at some open net chances. Ingram swimming in the crease, but they miss on both of those chances. Utah under pressure gets called for a delay of game penalty. That's McBain goes to the box. So another penalty kill in the middle of the third. They kill it off. Utah had 0 shots in a 9-minute span in this third period. But after that, 2 penalty kills and those 9 minutes of some bad hockey, they try to push in the last 5 minutes. You could sense some hesitation by both teams once the clock was winding down below 5 minutes. Both of these teams, like I said, they're points away from the wild card spot. Every point matters. There's some tension in the building. Both these teams wanting to go to overtime for that extra point. And Utah even calls a timeout with 2 minutes left. It's a defensive zone face-off. Turney calls a timeout just to calm the guys down, give them some energy, maybe do a little bit of a pep talk like, guys, we're 2 minutes from a huge, huge point. We really need this point. We're facing 2 juggernauts on the weekend in Carolina and Washington. Just try to get into overtime, and then we'll just see from there. I'm not saying just lose. I'm saying go into overtime, we'll regroup, and let's see what happens. They get a power play 1 minute and a half left in the third period, which transitions into overtime. And unfortunately, the overtime rule is once a power play expires into overtime, it goes to 4-on-4, not 3-on-3, obviously, because I don't even know how you would do that. If a team's up 4-on-3, the player comes out of the box, the team on the power play isn't going to send a player to the bench. So it goes 4-on-4 for about 4 minutes of overtime. And then thankfully, Keller gets a great chance. It was a brutal turnover by the Blue Jackets behind their net. The puck, it's a pepperoni pizza right in the slot. Keller's there for a shot. It's saved. The goalie smothers it. They do a face-off. It goes on to 3-versus-3. And then Columbus comes down against Ingram. It looks like it's going to be a 2-on-0, a 3-on-0. Keller's caught in the neutral zone. It seems like a bunch of Columbus players just fall into each other on the blue line. Connor Ingram comes out of his net to play the puck. He hits it. He shoots it off the glass. It's a 3-line pass right to Dylan Guenther for a breakaway. On the breakaway, he gets denied, but gets his own rebound and doesn't make a mistake. And that's 2 straight overtime game-winning goals for Dylan Guenther to win it 3-2. 2 huge points for Utah. That's Dylan Guenther's 19th goal of the season. in 42 games played. He had 18 goals last season in 45 games played. I thought that was unsustainable last year, scoring 18 and 45. This guy does 19 and 42 games played. Unbelievable stuff by Guenther, missing, what was it, 13, or he missed 12 games, and just winning back-to-back games in overtime must feel so, he must be so elated doing that feat. Great stuff by Guenther. There was a great game by Utah. I know I usually don't do these videos right after the game. My brain, I could feel it shutting off, but great stuff by Utah to grab 2 points. They outshot Columbus 32-22. Well, 32-22. Yes, that makes sense. Power play 0 for 3. It's 3 straight games for Utah with no power play goals. A bit weird considering Guenther came back last game and they didn't score on the power play against Philly. They don't score here on 3 attempts against Columbus. I wonder if, with the return of Guenther, it seems like they're not giving the puck to Guenther a lot on the power play. They're trying to make teams overthink the one-timer with Guenther and maybe trying to do some other things, but I would like to see some more one-time shots given to Guenther on the power play. But yeah, 3 straight games, 0 power play goals. That makes games harder for you. They could have made the Philly game and this game a lot more easier if they got a power play goal. Against St. Louis, a 2-1 loss in regulation. A power play goal would have brought you to overtime. So hopefully they fix that up. Faceoffs, 47%. And they're off Friday, and they got back-to-back games on the weekend. Like I've already mentioned so many times, Carolina and Washington, 2 juggernauts in the league. A huge result of 2 points. Put it in your back pocket and try to get 2 out of 4 points on the weekend. Maybe both games go into overtime and you lose, but try to win one of them. That's my expectation. Win one. Try not to get blown out both of those games, and you go on a 2-week break with that terrible recency bias of being blown out by 2 games, and you have to sit with that for 2 weeks. You don't want that to happen. You want to feel good heading into a 2-week long break. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word, and as always, thank you for your support.